Howdy folks, today we are playing 5-color control in Phyrexia all will be one standard. This deck is an interesting one, but it's really packaged together by Atraxa Grand Unifier, which is a 7-mana, 7/7 flying vigilance death touch lifelink creature, all great stats. But the real kicker is when it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put a card from among that revealed cards into your hand. The types are artifact, battle, creature, enchantment, instant land, planeswalker, and sorcery. So our deck is built around as many different ones of those as possible. We have Artifact with Reckoner, Big Buster, Sorcery with Strangle, Blue Sun's Twilight, and the Wraths. We have Enchantment with Leyline Binding, Fable the Mirror Breaker Instant with Go for the Throat, and Unleash the Inferno creature with the Atraxa. Enchantment also with the Kami, I forgot to mention that. Planeswalker with 1 copy of the Eternal Wanderer. That's really what we're trying to do with this deck, trying to survive long enough until we get to that point, and then hopefully Atraxa can take over the game. Alrighty, let's see what it does in standard. Alright, our opponent kept 7. I don't think we can do the same, so I'm gonna mulligan. This hand is looking better. What are we gonna put back? Second shutdown pass, probably. Problem here is we don't really have anything other than green, red, and white, but hopefully we'll rectify that situation with drawing cards with the Bank Busters. Opponents on green, red. If they're on Gruul aggro, they're on werewolves. Okay, Gruul aggro would have been tough. We will be able to depopulate though, which will be solid as long as we draw another land that is untapped by turn 4. And we're gonna really lean on this depopulate, and hopefully it's good enough. Howling Moon. Yeah, that's like having another creature. It's really good. Make a red mana. Do they have a play with fire? They do. Okay. Big problem with the werewolf deck is a lot of werewolves have haste, which is tough for us. Dude, that was a solid draw. Go ahead and strangle the naturalist. Showdown pass. Sundown pass, and we'll pass a turn. Hopefully hit an untapped land for next turn, and a depopulate I assume we're gonna have to cast. Stormseeker, yep. It's gonna get a big buff from the Stormseeker and the Howling Moon. They're hitting us for 5. So we either need to draw a removal spell or an untapped land for the depopulate. Fable and Jetmir's Garden. We didn't draw either of those, so I guess we're gonna plan to block with a Fable. With a Mirror Breaker token. And depopulate after that. A lot of haste that's going to be coming down for our opponent. Arlen. Yeah, that's really good. Dang. Create some wolves, give one of them a haste, and some +2/+2 around there. Shoot. I would also give that same wolf +2/+2 if I was our opponent. Yep. Makes sense. I think we have to block the 5 for. Don't think we're ever going to cast these Blue Sun's Twilight without having any blue, so goodbye both of those. Yeah, gonna depopulate here. Play Rafine's Tower. Next turn we have an Eternal Wanderer. Not sure how good it'll be. Pack Song Pup. Okay, well. Something. Alrighty. So I guess this Eternal Wanderer giving us a double striker is not terrible. Can go ahead and pass. We could have attacked the Arlen, but we'd be taking a big hefty sum of damage on the backswing. I don't think we want to. I think we want to cast spells so that way we don't flip day night, because then Arlen could get more problematic. Maybe we'll stabilize though. If we can get an Atraxa down ever, I'll feel really good about where we're at. Yep. I think we'll plan to just block with the double striker. Don't think we need to put this Bank Buster in harm's way at all. We'll see though. Do they have a removal? They do have a play with fire. Okay. Interesting. Saves their pack song pup. Get to plus the Arlen again. Next turn they get to make some wolves, which is probably solid for them. Does this let us cast Atraxa? Do we have so black? So it would cost us 1 life, but we can cast the Atraxa. I think this is what we'll do then. Okay, we were gonna see what we could draw, but our opponent saw the writing on the wall. They needed to get combat damage through, and Atraxa was going to, simply gain a bunch of life. Wow, well, tough first game against Werewolves, but we'll take it. GG's. Alrighty, we're going first. This is a place we haven't been in a while, so I will be happy about going first. We have Xander's Lounge and Rafine's Tower, both which produced black and blue, so now we're just missing green. Nice thing here is we can get a table down this turn. So red, blue, black, white, green. Okay, so we can cast everything. See what our opponent has here. Liliana. Strangle that.
Happy to help, but I'm taking the credit when we win. You won't be outsmarted.
Get rid of this Ganjo. Evoke Despair, okay. Yeah, get rid of the Strangles. I don't think they were that good right now. Bankbuster time, though. I can get behind that. Pass the turn. Eventually get to a point where hopefully Kami War can put in some work. Exile a target element from an opponent controls. A Trespasser, sure. Wrath would not be a bad hit off this Bankbuster. See if we can get there. Let's see what we draw. Have some Depopulates in the deck we could draw. I did not draw one there. Eternal Wanderer is not a terrible draw. I think we want another Rafine's Tower. We can go ahead and pass. Imagine I'll have a Sacco Reflection. We could draw Farewell. Depopulate's good. Eternal Grasp, yep. Gonna need to draw something to help clean up this board. Farewell would be ideal. Although this Liliana is gonna make us sacrifice permanents eventually. Discard, yeah, we can discard this Jetmir's Garden pretty easily. Not feeling too bad about that. Discarded a Trespasser. Okay, we're gonna get it down to 10, most likely. It's not exactly where you want to be. Okay, I'm only gonna get it down to 11. Our opponent does not seem to be too intent on dropping our life total as fast as they can. Alright, let's see what we can draw. Depopulate. Okay, we will take that one. That one's not bad. Or we could just take a Graveyard Trespasser, but I think we're just going to depopulate instead. Depopulate, drop a Jetmir's Garden. Have a Kami War up for next turn. Opponent going to plus. Sorin, okay, it's not bad.
Violence is necessary to set things right.
Yep, getting the lifelinker. Yep, we're gonna discard probably this Blue Sun's Twilight. Quicken the Inferno is not bad. This is a killer Reckoner raid, but I don't think that's really what we're worried about now. Yeah, I think we're gonna kill that Liliana. Opponent's gonna get some value off their other things, but hopefully we live through all that. We can kill the Reckoner raid and a creature next turn with this Unleash. And we can also draw with the Reckoner Bankbuster at that time. Okay, they're gonna make us discard.
Nobody knows
See what they hit.
Dominaria's shadows like me.
Trespasser, okay.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
Getting in. Do they discard with the Liliana? It's a big question. If they do, our Kami War gets better. They do discard.
We all have things.
I think that means we're gonna get rid of this Eternal Wanderer. Alright. We'll return this Sorin to their hand. Make them discard it. Deal some damage to this vampire. Kill the Nezumi Rogue Captain. Play the beach, and we'll go ahead and pass. So when they plus this Liliana, we can have Bankbuster drawn token afterward, which is pretty nice. And we get the Kami on the back end, which is also nice. Now we have a way to attack the Liliana with this regular Bankbuster. I think we've played this pretty well. Not drawn great, but it's alright. Leyline Binding's solid. Get in on the Liliana here. Keep this Battlefield Fortage in hand so we can discard that instead of the Leyline Binding. Dev removal spell. Okay, we'll crew the Bankbuster here. Yep, discard this Forge.
I'm tired of your.
Go to our turn. Another Bankbuster is good. That is a pretty good draw. Okay, we'll play this and draw first. See what we hit. So Kenzen, okay, that's solid. We can block the Reckoner Raid with it. Yep, attack our opponent. Opponent's got us on the ropes though. Reckoner Bankbusters for draw is gonna help. So Kenzen here to block, I think, is best. Get some value out of that card. And their own Bankbuster, yeah, dang. They're just gonna go ahead and draw now, okay. They don't really feel like using Bankbuster, so I guess we will go ahead and draw. I think we're gonna use this binding on their Bankbuster. Try to limit the amount of cards they can draw. Draw this Bankbuster. So we know they didn't draw a land. Back with the Bankbuster. Then we have this Jetmir's Garden to cycle. That's the nice part about this mana base, is when you get to this point in the game, you can start cycling a bunch. Sorin, yeah, that's pretty good. Have a way to attack the Sorin, though. Vampire time.
You will serve me well.
They attack, we're double blocking for sure. And Raffine's Tower, Spirit Springs. Okay, we'll cycle with the tower. See what we hit. Strangle. Strangle is not bad. Strangle a vampire. Yeah, I think that means we're going to crew. We're going to all out attack the Sorin. They're gonna let it go. Okay, interesting. Yeah, no, I was expecting to let it go yet. They're going to be able to attack us for 2 on the back end. I guess we should draw now, since there's no reason to not draw now. Alright, Atraxa is a fantastic drop to hopefully not die this turn. They have Invoke Despair, land Invoke Despair, could definitely be what they have. Trespass, okay. Atraxa is gonna be relevant for us here. Gotta imagine our opponent is trying to attack us here. Yeah. How many creatures are in here? Opponent should be really trying to get our life total. There's enough creatures in the yard to go life total, but they're not doing that. Cold Conscript, okay. Okay, they are going in. Makes sense. Our turn. I think it's Atraxa time. See if we can hit. Alright, well, we had some choices there. Our opponent had a very real chance to win the game still, but we'll take it. GG's. Alright, opponent's going first. We'll keep. We can play a Go for the Throat on turn 2. Which is gonna be our plan to hopefully hold us over until we can depopulate, especially if they're on soldiers or something. Green white is toxic. Kami, okay. Go ahead and pass. Get our opponent casts here. Jukai Naturalist. Yep. And a Spirited Companion. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. I think we're going to try to avoid this turn. So we can play Leyline Binding and Strangle. Do we want to do that? I think we want to play the Strangle, certainly. They can return the Kami. But I think that's going to be fine. We can Leyline Binding the Kami. I'm going to depopulate. We might just depopulate the board, too. Depends on how much they play. This is all they do. We're certainly not going to use a Leyline Binding. Sure. Okay. I'm gonna pass here. Leyline Binding up. Next turn, be fine to depopulate, and then Kami War the next turn. We'll see what our opponent has though. Wedding Announcement. It's not bad. Something we might want to Leyline Binding right now. I think we're going to. Yep, opponent's going to attack, it looks like. Yep. I think we'd be fine to sackle the Xander's Lounge. Depending on what our opponent has. I think we are going to cycle this. Fable. Unleash the Inferno, that's solid. Basically like a Wrath here. The rest of it kills the Spirited Companion. Get a Sundown Pass here. We can pass. Opponent can keep getting this Kami back, but it means they have to keep devoting mana to it. We get this Kami War next turn to exile it, depending on what else they have. Nick and Tilda. Okay. Guess we will be depopulating this turn. Not bad, not bad. We do need to draw lands to hit our big boom booms here, though. Hallowed Haunting, sure. Do they have a enchantment? They do not. I mean, we're going to Fable, and next time we have a Kami's War. Kami War up for the Hallowed Haunting. Gonna probably need to find a Wrath at some point. Farewell wouldn't be bad. Not too many of those in our deck, though. Wedding Announcement, sure, okay. Mix a Spirit. And a Restoration. Okay, mix another Spirit. Yep, mix a 1/1. I think we can do better than Bankbuster here. So we could play Atraxa, but I have a feeling our opponent has some way to remove a big permanent of ours. And they probably are going to use it on this Kami War. I think we're interested in blocking, keep more life total alive. Could bring back, you know, a Jukai Naturalist for this Plains, but that means they're gonna have to discard something relevant if they play out their hand here to the Kami War. They have a Kami, what else they got? Catilda time? Catilda time, okay. Pretty good. 10-10 in the air. So we're definitely going to bounce this Spirit Cleric to their hand. They're going to discard whatever else they had in hand. Going to flip that. And we have it burn down the house. It's probably worth casting this turn. Get our value with the treasure. No blocks, sure. Obviously, we can't cast this Atraxa, but they can return the Kami to their hand. They also have this Catilda in the graveyard. But we're going to have Atraxa. Our opponent's going to have to find a way to beat what we have. We're going to have a removal spell for the Atraxa. And we're going to have this Kami that can block. It also has flying. You're going to just Atraxa up. Or Catilda up. Okay, nope. Create and flip. Okay. Alright. Atraxa time. We have Strangle. Farewell, I think, will be good enough to use next turn. Ooh, Leyline Binding is really good. Take Leyline Binding. Probably Cycle Lands. Garden. And Atraxa. And this Farewell, I believe. And we'll pass with this Leyline Binding up. Do they have a way to exile our Atraxa? That's the question. If they don't, we're probably going to get in with some lifelink and win the game. If they do, well, we're probably dead. Catilda, sure. Makes us 7/7. Flying lifelink protection from vampires. That's what to do with it. Attacking with everybody. Okay, time to cast this Leyline Binding. Try to hit this Kami. And we'll just trade up here. Okay, up to 7 life, we'll take that. Does our opponent have any follow-up? No. That's big time. When it attacks, defending player chooses a non-land card in your graveyard. Return that card to our hand. Well, I think Atraxa is better than whatever we could be doing there. Ooh, up to 5. Yeah. Planeswalkers, certainly. I think another Leyline Binding is on the menu. Creature, artifact, and now we're just picking up a land. Maybe a Desert to be something we could play this turn. Then we're good on Cycle Lands. And I don't think we want to die, so we're going to pass one more turn, just in case our opponent has something to remove our Atraxa or something weird. Okay, tap land means this game is over. GG's, I'm pretty happy about that. It's going to take a little bit to kill our opponent, but we'll get there eventually. We can flicker one of our creatures, but I think we're just going to Leyline Binding this Architect, flicker this creature to exile it, attack here. Opponent's gonna give us a creature back or a spell or something. Atraxa's looking good here. We obviously have the farewell here, but we have more enchantments than they do at this juncture in the game that we do like to protect. I think we'll play this Jetmir's Garden and keep up the Besage. You don't think we need cards. They have a farewell in their deck would be an odd play. Borrowed Time. Sure, let's see what you hit. You want our Atraxa? Sure. Bad news for our opponent is that this Besage is about to get us that enter the battlefield trigger again. Gonna draw a card with your Plaza. Yep, opponent's playing this to the very end. I respect it. Okay, Besage time. May I have my Atraxa back, please? Oh, thank you so much for obliging. You can go ahead and get your forest or whatever you would like. I don't know. I mean, play a good extra land drop. Maybe that might help you come back in this game. Nope, just kidding. Atraxa's about to trigger again. You're about to get hit by another big attack. All right, choose 4. We have how many cards in our... We have a lot of cards left. All right, Blue Sun's Twilight. Land, I think we're going with the Aganjo. Binding and go for the throw. Just getting removal from all walks of life here. Going in our opponent. Attacking. Seeing what they have. Gave us an Atraxa so they could die early. You know what, opponent? I respect that hustle. I wouldn't want to keep playing that game either. But they went out the honorable way. And for that, I say GG. Alrighty, we're going first, and this hand looks like it has the ability to play its spells, so we'll keep that. Turn to Bankbuster and draw on some cards and maybe getting some Leyline Binding shenanigans going. Playing against a Rooster. Okay, let's see if they have the mind of a chicken or not. Tenacious Underdog. With somebody who has the mind of a chicken play a Tenacious Underdog. That's for you guys at home to figure out. We're gonna pass, and we'll potentially binding something, or we'll potentially bank bust draw. We'll see. I think we're gonna take this 3. Not too worried about the Tenacious Underdog beatdowns. Phyrexia Arena. Sure. Go ahead and draw the Bank Buster. Another Atraxa. I think I will hit this Phyrexia Arena with the Leyline Binding. They can definitely get it back with like an Invoke Despair though. And we are trying to be in the business of drawing lands, and we'll happily depopulate if our opponent casts relevant spells for us to do so. Go for the throat, sure. Okay. Go ahead and pass. See if we get Invoke Despair this turn. Opponent is going whole turns without playing anything. I think we're going to try to kill the underdog here. Opponent, I think, is being patient so that we would use a removal spell on it. I think they got what they wished for. Did they have an Invoke to punish us? They're just going to blitz the dog? Sure. No problem from us there. Okay, draw with the Bank Buster. Go to my turn. Play a Deserted Beach. And we can play an Atraxa, so I think that's what we'll do. Alrighty, Atraxa will come and get us. What another Bank Buster for artifacts. Enchantment can only be this. We can have Leyline Binding or Fable. Probably better to have the Binding. Land. Get the Raffine's Tower. Steal with the Blue Sun's Twilight as well. And I think we'll try to get some damage. And then we'll pass. And we'll go ahead and discard to populate and the Fiend's Tower. The opponent have an Invoke Despair this time. They didn't last time. They just decided to underdog it last time. Do we get an attack in with this Atraxa? What could be in our opponent's hand? I really have no clue. There has to be just removal that they didn't want to use on Reckoner Bankbuster stuff. Oh, could be a lot of Go for the Throat that they couldn't use. They could kill a pie with a Go for the Throat though. And Obliterator. Okay, fine with the Obliterator. What are the odds we just yoink this Obliterator? We can't copy this, unfortunately. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, maybe we'll just Kami War it. It's gonna cost us some life, though. All right, yeah, get that Obliterator out of here. Crew up. Get busy. Pass the turn. See if they play something that they'll get bounced. What do you got, opponent? Invoke Despair. Yep. Do you want them to have the Phyrexian Arena back? Not particularly. They can have the Binding back. I'll get the Arena, but I will bounce it with the Kami War, so I have to replay it. And they can go ahead and discard. Play the Fiend's Tower. And another Bankbuster. We'll keep up this Leyline Binding for this underdog if they're getting frisky, and we'll pass. Another Invoke Despair is not what we want to see. Okay. Don't really want to get burnt out of this game. Phyrexian Arena, sure. Go ahead and draw. Another Leyline Binding, okay. My turn. So we can fare well on enchantments and graveyards, which I think we're gonna do. Enchantments, graveyards. And we'll keep up the Leyline Binding ability. Do they have more invokes? They have 40 cards in their deck, so if they have more invokes, they'd be a little sad about that. They're gonna pass a turn. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and draw the Bankbuster. I think we're good to play the Gonjo, and I'm not sure what's in our opponent's hand, but whatever it is, they don't want it to get yoinked by Blue Sun's Twilight, so GG's. They want to make copies of a Phyrexian Obliterator for us? What? Come on, man. That'd be so nice. All right, we're back. With 5-color control built around the card, blown up on your screen, Atraxa Grand Unifier. And I am not going to lie, Atraxa Grand Unifier is good enough to just win you games. You have enough value with this deck to put together wins. It's extremely a valuable card. It just gets you, flying, vigilance, depth, that's lifelink, which swings the life total battle, and also you just put, up to 5 permanents in your hand. You can put there were scenarios where we put like a Bankbuster, or a Leyline Binding, an Inferno, an Atraxa, and a Eternal Wanderer all in our hands. And you can even hit a land, so you could hit 6 things, I guess, if I counted correctly. You can have Artifact, Creature, Enchantment, Instant, Land, Planeswalker, Sorcery. I think we have all of those. Artifact, Sorcery, Enchantment, Creature, Planeswalker, Land. 6 things. That's crazy. You could hit a lot with the Atraxa. We never got the full 6. We got 5 one time, though. And I was like, oh, shoot, is that the max? But I guess it's not even the max. I mean, the card just does things. But yeah. It's really solid deck. You are definitely going to struggle in best of 1 against hyper aggro, as not only do you not have a lot of defensive tools early, but You also have a lot of tap land, which doesn't really go that well together. So something like mono white aggro that has the Thalia, I mean, you just might as well scoop. I mean, the game's over. Unless you're on the play and you have an absolutely perfect draw, you can maybe get out of it, but it's tough. Mono red aggro, you have a little bit better chance if you can power out a quick Atraxa. Or, you know, you go first and you do depopulate and have a Thalia to push you back a turn. Possible. I mean, maybe this deck needs some Brotherhood's End. If you really feel yourself getting beat up by that matchup. Maybe not. I've liked temporary lockdown personally against some of those decks. I mean, that really feels like a sideboard card, but maybe, you know, maybe it's a good enough enchantment. You can run it in this deck, but honestly, maybe we just avoided those matchups in the queue. I know they're there. I know those matchups are all over the ladder right now. But we avoided them for the most part. We certainly did lose to them a few times when I was play testing, either on or off camera. But it's a very fun deck. I mean, if you just want to do absolutely broken things, if you want to play 5-color best cards in standard, this is definitely one way to do it. I mean, it's fun to go from Atraxa to, okay, now I'm going to Unleash the Inferno and Kami War. Those are 2 super powerful cards. Oh, but by the way, we have a Farewell to keep us alive. And, oh, we'll just grab your Phyrexian Obliterator with our Blue Sun's Twilight. I mean, you just get to do so many different fun things with this deck. So it's just very high fun value. And it's pretty good. You could win over 50% of your games in the ladder. So you'll slowly rank up with this deck, I would believe, unless the meta heavily shifts into something very unfavorable, which is possible. But for now, I think the deck's solid enough in the meta. Yeah, if you like this deck, you'll probably like the previous standard deck. It's on your screen now. And I would like to play your decks. So I have, you know, a lot of videos on the channel of me playing viewer decks and tweaking them during the video and whatnot. I would love to do that with your deck. So, you know, you're listening to this YouTube video. In the description of this YouTube video, there's a Google Forms link. You can go ahead and fill out the Google Forms with a link to your deck list. And it also asks for things like, you know, deck name and screen name, so I can give you a shout out. Not too as a Google form, it's not too onerous. I'll look at the list and hopefully play it on the channel. I've played around 36-ish lists on viewer lists on the channel so far, which is, you know, pretty good considering this channel started last November. So I would love to play even more though. It's fun to make my own decks or adapt decks other people have played. You know, based, you know, just off decks lists you find on the internet, but it's also really fun to play, you know, totally new brews that people come up with. So looking forward to those submissions. Yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.